Welcome back to another EDD-Toolbar update. Today I'm going to show you how you can take Excel files that are exported from popular forensic software and turn them into industry standard DAT files. Before we start, two things. Number one, EDD-Toolbar that I'm going to show you is included in the license of Message Crawler. So if you have Message Crawler license, you can get this toolbar absolutely free. In fact, you can get 5 licenses of it. Number two, what I'm going to show you isn't going to be one solution that fits every problem. Every data type or every Excel file exported is going to be slightly different. So I'm just going to show you different techniques you can use to massage your data and make it usable into the next step. This is not going to be like a one button and all your problems resolved. This is a way to get you from a bad situation to a slightly better situation that you can actually deal with. So let's go to my screen. I'll show you Excel and I'm going to show you how you can fix the DAT file. Also, there is a construction over there and there's a construction over there. There's probably going to be some background noise, so I apologize about that, but let's go to the computer and look at what I have. Alright, so this is an Excel file that you can typically see when you export from either Celebrite or Oxygen, maybe even from, I forget the other one, a few other different software. They're all kind of similar. Sometimes you have like this number here, sometimes you don't even have that. You have your sender, date, body of a message, and then you have your attachment information. So the problem you're usually gonna have is this attachment information is on the side, on the same line as the message. What we need to do is push it down to the next line, and we also need to generate some of the doc ID and the group identifier. So let's do that. Let's insert a column, and we're going to put a formula here because we may have multiple attachment columns. If we don't, then we don't have to do that, but if we do, we're going to say H3 and semicolon and I3, right? And well, we're gonna need to make sure that this is a general, and we're gonna do that, and we're going to apply it all the way down. So now what we've done is combined our attachments and we turn it into a semicolon delimited list. All right. So if you have multiple, you just need to add more to the formula to combine them all together. If you have just one, then you're fine. You don't need to do anything else. So next, we're going to click on this toolbar and we're going to click on split attachments to next line. Now, two things we need to specify is our starting number, whatever, it doesn't even matter because it's going to get overwritten by Relativity anyway. And then we're going to say which column contains our attachment information. In this case, it's G. So I'm just going to enter G. And now the new sheet is going to be created. So we went from here to here, and all the data got copied over, and our attachments, if you look here, they got pushed down from this record down to here, and now we have a group identifier here, and we have a document ID. And when we had multiple items, a similar thing happened. We were able to take this information from the line, split it by semicolon, and push it down to 2 following lines. Right, and so now we have a group identifier that groups messages together, and we have a sequential number for doc ID. All right, so now that we have this, we need to clean up our data. We're gonna have these weird headers and all kinds of things happening. So this one button isn't gonna handle everything. So we're gonna go in here and let's get rid of some of this weird stuff. We had this timeline over here. We don't need that. We can take our headers, copy them into real headers, delete this, and now we're starting to look like something, so we can get rid of these attachments. And maybe we want to do search and replace, and we'll take a semicolon, and whenever it matches entire cell content, we're going to replace it out. And so now we've kind of cleaned up our DAT file that we're gonna have. So attachments are wrapped. We have everything here is good. We can say attach path. So nice and organized. And now what we can do is select this, go into import export, and hit the export button, and we're just going to save it here. And then I am going to open it with a text editor so you can see. Not that you don't believe me, but now we have that data exported with concordance delimiters into a nice DAT file that could be loaded into different software. All right. So one more problem we could have, and that is going to be if we have hyperlinks. I'm going to delete this, and we're going to do it again. So some of these attachments, they actually contain hyperlinks, and you may have different case. You may have the actual path in the field, or you may have just a file name with a hyperlink. So we need a way to get those hyperlinks out, and unfortunately, there is no easy way of doing it. There is no formula you can use to get it. So we're going to need to do a macro. So this is going to be a bit advanced, but stick with me. It's literally one line of code that we're going to copy and paste somewhere. I'm going to show you how to do that. First thing, since we always have to be super safe, I'm going to need to save a copy of this into Excel file called Excel.dat macro. So it has to be Excel macro enabled workbook, because by default it's always disabled, because we have to be very safe and no one can be trusted with macros. So now we have that. I'm going to right click here, and I'm going to say view code, and let me resize this because this looks really weird. So what we're going to do now is right click, insert module, and here we're going to add a module. It contains one line of code. You got the opening on error, and so what it says is just get me the hyperlink address of a cell. That's all we got to do. Just paste it. You can type, you can pause it, and you can type this. I'm sure you can get it. This is super short. So I'm going to close it, and now we're going to replace this with GetURL around the cells. All right, so we're going to say GetURL. And looks like nothing changed, but if we apply it down, you see how now, instead of taking the actual value that we see, we've grabbed a hyperlink from below. So all we gotta do now is do the same thing. Let's click OK. We're gonna put the column G, and now look at this. We have the actual values of the hyperlink, not the cell that you were seeing, not the visual part of the cell, but what's behind it. And again, here we're gonna do same cleanup, take out semicolons, fix up headers. If something got weird, you can take it out and kind of fix it all up and save it back to a DAT file. So that's going to be generally the process you will go through. I've seen where senders have a word sender inserted in front. So again, you'll just do search and replace, or the body of a message has some kind of string appended in front. So that's something you have to do, and work with your data and fix it up. And again, don't worry about that doc ID starts with 1 and you deleting it. It's going to start with 2. If you want to get fancy, you can put like start with 0 or something like that, so that it goes to 1. That doesn't really matter. Anyway, so this is my solution for taking the Excel files that are generated by forensic software, fixing them up, and making them into what I would call industry standard DAT file that you could load to Relativity, or you can load to Message Crawler to perform RSMF conversion. So let me know if you think this is cool, not cool. Are there any other variations of these Excel files you found this doesn't handle? Again, let me know about that. Thank you for checking out this update. I will see you on another.